What's up? It's another lovely Sunday, and we are here with the Melanated Anime Club. I am one of the Monster Trio. I am Wes, and I have Roman here filling in for the other two that are gone because, you know, life happens.
Does its thing.
I thought I could show names here. I don't know what I'm doing. One second. Oh, what was that?
That's an email from me. I apologize. I'm going to block everybody in my email from ever coming.
Better than this.
I will fix that. I'm so sorry, sir. Never again.
Yes, please make sure it does not happen. So, we're here. Today's Sunday, and I have a confession to make.
Oh, what is that?
After, I want to say...
Years.
Years of faking. I'll say it. Years of faking on it. I finally got around to watching One Punch Man.
To what? What did you? I'm sorry. What did you start?
I finally got around to watching One Punch Man.
It's such a busy schedule.
Yes, you know, there are so many other things on my schedule before getting to One Punch Man.
Uh-huh.
I had to watch like 97 episodes of World Trigger.
Very true.
I had to read all of Solo Leveling. I had to
Did you read all? Wow,
yeah.
Yes, that's true.
I had to read all of Demon Slayer. There were so many things, but I got back to it. I got to it because I watched the first episode at a friend's house with like a bunch of people, like when it first came out, like years ago. And I was like, okay, I get it. This man defeats everybody with one punch. It's kind of ridiculous.
It was the first episode is an origin episode. Yeah, and I feel like personally, it's very different from the rest of the series.
And maybe that was the problem because for the longest, that's all I had a reference to, and I was like, okay, I get it. Like, I don't have to watch this right here, right now, but I'll get to it in
a couple of years.
Yeah, to where I could watch it all in dub, and it was great. So yeah, I started episode 2 sometime earlier this week, and no, it was actually last week. It was last week, and I got to season 2 this week, and whew.
How many episodes of season 1 and how many episodes of season 2? Let the crowd know how much you watched.
It's 13 episodes in season 1, so I watched 12 to finish season 1, and then I'm on episode 21 of season 2. So no, that's all of them together. So that's 8.
Sounds like a binge to me. Like you were really into it.
One or two a day, you know, and then I may have to take a day or two off depending on what was happening.
Really into it.
And I know you've been telling me to watch it for so long.
So long, I have to say. So long. A vein has grown in my forehead. As you can see, it's gone because he's finally watched it. But for a long time, I had been on this weird crusade to constantly drop hints to watch One Punch Man. And I gotta say, it was
like, at least watch the second episode. At least watch the third episode.
2 and 3. And you finally did, and I'm glad you.
It took like a year. It took like a year of you hounding me to do it.
Man, you don't understand how hard that was, to be honest. Like, because I knew it was good, and I knew you would like it. Was it a mistake for you waiting so long to enjoy this greatness?
I don't know. It's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
because like, I can see the appeal of One Punch Man. I can see like, you know, the comedy behind it and the visuals. I mean, the fight scenes are amazing.
Beautiful.
Let's just get that down. Like,
quite beautiful.
I forget what studio does this again.
They're called BAM, and they also do another show that I'm going to recommend later as well.
Okay. Well, this studio does really great work. I thought it was Studio Bones at first, but they do My Hero Academia.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like I can see like the kind of slapstick and like deadpan comedy behind it all.
Madhouse.
At first I was like, okay, this is kind of corny, but at the same time, like it was a decent background show in the beginning of season 1 because it was just like, okay, what ridiculous monster is Saitama gonna go up against again, or like how is Genos gonna become the best disciple? Weird.
Also, who else? Yeah, and what weird, crazy monster are they going to introduce next?
Yeah, and I think I enjoy it now that I can like binge it as a dub.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think my 5 or 6 years ago when it came out, if I had just watched it straight from then, like a week to week, I might have appreciated it more than I do now. But
Mm-hmm.
I still think it's good. Like I like it's it's got my attention. It has
Yeah.
my attention. I don't think I'm at the point where I want to read the manga after I'm done with season 2, but we shall see.
If it ends on a cliffhanger, what do you think?
I don't know.
What makes you want to read something go from animation to manga?
The story has to be intriguing as hell. Like
Mm.
I'm all about story and world building, and if
Mm-hmm.
it's like if I'm left with like I have to know more, I'm gonna read it. Like the end of Tokyo Revengers this season, that was like, okay, you're gonna leave me on that kind of cliffhanger. I'm definitely reading the manga next day, and I am caught up.
Yeah.
I am on chapter 230.
Did you get your answers?
There's a lot. There's a lot. I'm not even gonna try to do that to you.
That's fair.
I don't want to inadvertently spoil anything.
I just need one question. For me, there's one question I need answered
about Tokyo Revengers.
No, it makes me want to go from animation to manga.
Okay.
One punch for me. I wanted to. My only question I want to know is how do they find out who he really is? Because I would have to say with the One Punch saga with season 1 and 2, they do a very good job of him showing his greatness, but no one notices. Like he saves the world multiple times, and people still treat him like shit because they don't know what he's done. And at every turn, like people are just slightly turning a blind eye to whatever's happening over there because they're looking at something else. But really, I'm wondering, there's cameras everywhere. When they destroyed in the season 1, when he destroyed the asteroid, someone had to have seen that.
I mean, yeah, they were blaming him for it. So like
exactly. But they didn't say the fact that he really saved the city from a dragon level threat. Either way, I just like how people talk down to him, knowing that he could destroy them literally in 1 second. And that's what I love so much because it gives even though he is truly a star, and I really think they did a great job in the first season of showing how strong he is, how he can fight, who he can fight with, and what he can do. Ergo, one of my favorite parts of the whole series is jumping one jump from the moon to Earth in seconds. He can't fly. He actually specifically tells people he cannot fly.
But he can jump from the moon to the Earth.
It's in one jump. Incredible. But by the way, they're showing like who he can fight and how he can fight, and they do a good job of that. But now we know who he is. They're leaning more when it comes to the end of season. Well, throughout the season, they show what other heroes can do. And you get really excited to see how other people fight and how strong they are. And then when you get to season 2, it takes less spotlight there's less spotlight on One Punch, and it moves over to more people. And you get actually
more of an ensemble. Yeah.
Yeah. You really care about him. And when you read the manga, there's sometimes chapters where you don't even see him for at least two chapters, which is interesting because you're like, well, I'm trying to figure out what's all going on. I think that also
goes to like the comedy of it all because he's not because they take so much focus off of him that like sometimes he's a background character.
Oh yeah, I feel like it's just too easy to focus on him. And I like this is a little spoiler alert. When they actually find out that King is not powerful at all, he's truly a coward.
And Saitama didn't even care. He was like, "Oh, okay,
yeah."
Play video games.
Do you enjoy doing that? Like, do you like that? And then, like, I like the drawing because if you look at the manga, it's the thing I like so much about this is that the manga is shot for shot like the animation. And if you look at when the bird came in, when he was standing by the window and the bird tried to kill King, and Saitama was standing right there in the way to stop the bird, I genuinely love that whole shot. It was very beautiful, and it just, I don't know, it was another way he charmed another hero. And keep in mind, they do a history lesson where Saitama is the reason why King has those 3 marks on his face.
Yeah, has that scar. And like King's just been taking credit for all of Saitama's kills.
Yeah. Yeah, which is very interesting. I love that so much. Is that like, and then what you're watching, I think right now he deals with the fact is like he's the strongest and he's kind of getting bored. And I think there's a moment where they talk about like, oh, that's why you want to be a hero, so you can be popular and just be and work to being the greatest and people notice your hard work. Do the right thing. That should be enough. Like that should be enough gratitude that you should get for being a good hero.
You would think.
And, I like the soul searching, basically. The small search, it's a very small and minute element in like all the funniness and all the fighting and jumping from different characters and seeing.
Yes, it gets very meta. It's like, what is my purpose in life if I can only destroy everyone with one punch?
Yes.
You know what? Funny enough, I was watching it with a mutual friend of ours, Justin Swinson, last night. He came in while I was watching it, and he just like sat while it was on, playing on his phone. And then like it's that moment where Goketsu, which was like the baddest of the bad monster, who was like taking down everybody at that martial arts tournament.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you see him like take down everybody and like how it was no problem. And then Saitama literally comes in with one punch. And like the whole time Justin was like, it's not gonna take one punch. It ain't gonna take. They'd have built this man up to be like the baddest of the bad. It still takes one punch.
One punch and a booty bump. Let's not forget the booty bump.
Yeah, but here's the thing: like all he said was that the brand is strong.
That's right. That's right. They know their brand. They know that they're sticking to it, and I like it. I love it so much. I love it so much. And then I love that like Saitama is just really about mundanity. Like in the season 1, he was so happy. Like he got in that fight with that beetle and he was just hitting him around. And he's like, oh, it's Saturday. It's Saturday, which means it's grocery day or it's like the grocery sale.
Oh yeah, the sale, yeah.
He doesn't get too full of himself and I'm happy for it.
Or the few times he's like just karate chop Garo to knock him out.
Oh yes.
While Garo's taking out everybody.
He's knocked him. He's beat him 3 times. 3 times he's had encounters with Garou, and
I've only seen 2.
Okay, I think there's just one more. It's like another funny small clip. Don't worry about it. It's not even a spoiler. He couldn't do it, but like I like how they shift the focus of One Punch to Garou. They go to. It just hit me that in season 1, it's all about showing how he's already the strongest. No one can beat him. He's just going to be able to beat everybody, even at the final fight of season 1. He had so much power left over. He could have beat him and kept going. But now they're showing a story with Garou. Not only is he an anti-hero, but on top of that, you're showing his grind to being the strongest. Because every fight that Garou fights, he's kind of getting beat up a little bit, but he's also fighting back and
progressing
every time.
Yeah, because after the fight against I want to say Watchdog Man.
Oh yeah, got that ass tore up. Which I want to see a real fight with Watchdog Man. Just a guy in the dog.
I just like for real, like this dude is just in a dog costume, and yet he's like an S-class hero that fights on all fours. And
yes.
Like literally, the description of his powers, he's strong and fast. That's it. He's got strength and speed, and not much else. But he has so much strength and speed.
I think he's number 6 or 4. He's up there.
Yeah, maybe number 4. I can't remember.
He's so impressive. I'm gonna let you know now. In the manga, you don't see him again. You really don't see him really do anything or talk, which is so great because there's so many other heroes and villains to see, which is great. And I don't want to take too much time because we spent a lot on it, but I would have to say the manga is my favorite drawn manga, period. It looks beautiful. It's well drawn. And I don't think they half-ass any frames. They know how to go between very serious and also the jokey play fun type way of drawing style.
Because that's just part of the show.
Yeah, it's very well drawn. It looks beautiful. And the animators did a great job. The first season animators did a great job. They switched the studio in season 2. And I don't know what's going to happen with season 3, and I don't even know if it's coming out.
Oh, so I'm about to be disappointed. And
yeah,
there's going to be no season.
It takes a lot of it's big shoes to fill up to reach that first chapter. To reach the first season, like literally that set the precedent for a lot of other fight anime that came out after it. One Punch was really significant. So it was like Attack on Titan. Like when they switched studios, there's big shoes to fill, and people compare.
Yeah, Mappa people complaining about Mappa in the last season of Attack on Titan, which
it's terrible.
The second half is coming out in a couple months, right?
Yeah. Whoever told them to use 3D figures was bad move.
Like it was fine beforehand. Like we were all happy with the animation.
Yeah. But it takes a lot of effort, and they have a specific style. They have realistic eyes, but everything else is drawn. Like it's hard. I'm pretty sure it's not an easy feat, really. So they probably had to save costs, or they had to do what they had to do.
Okay, all right. I mean, we can complain about studios all day.
Yeah, we can.
And not getting season 2s or not getting the graphics we want. It's fine. At the end of the day, we just got to accept it.
You got to accept what we get,
or write them a letter like you always want me to do.
Exactly. Tell the CEOs. Call them up now. Yeah, you're right. But we got to accept what we have, and also just be grateful that we got something, and we got an animation.
Yeah, because I think the ultimate fruition for me is always seeing, especially if I discovered a manga first, seeing it animated. It's just it's so satisfying.
Yeah,
because you have that mental image of okay, he jumped from over here to over there, and I'm I can imagine what that looks like in my head. But then seeing it fleshed out, it's just it's beautiful,
right? And it's a hard thing to do too. Change still frames to action or to moving frames. It's hard, So
shout out to all the manga artists.
Yes,
all the manga companies and studios. You're doing God's work. You're doing God's work.
Thank you.
Sunday, we're praising you
so much. Thank you so much. And our critiques are really just critiques. We're still happy for what you guys are doing.
Oh yeah, we still love all the studios. Thank you for all your content, because without it, we wouldn't be talking here with more people in the chat. What's up, people? If you want to say something, please say something. We like audience interactions. There we got 4 viewers right now.
Oh man,
only one of them is me on my other account.
Don't snitch.
It's fine. People do it all the time. It's fine.
Right. So what's next up on the agenda? What came out this week?
Oh yeah, we had some. It was a big week for manga. A lot of new manga came out, but let's talk about My Hero Academia.
You read that chapter recently.
Yes, I did. Oh goodness, Star and Stripe against Shiger All for One. Shiger One. Well, the combination of Shigaraki and All for One.
Yes, a little summary is that fight is still continuing, and you're realizing that the background for the American superhero, top number one superhero, her real team is the fighter jets that are around him that she's working in tandem with. She's hit the Shigaraki 1 with the laser beam,
concentrated lasers,
to stab Shigaraki and kill him for 1, but it's really not killing him because he's regenerating so quickly.
Yes, super regeneration, yes.
And so she ordered the massive attack of intercontinental missiles. And in this chapter, she grabs with her astral projection self, grabs the missiles and into one hand and directs them down into the ground to blow up Shigaraki.
But at the last second, Shigaraki uses the K quirk to sink himself down to the ground to avoid enough damage at the last second. It's pretty hacks to me, but you know what? If that's how it's written, that's how it's written.
And when it's clear, he jumps out of the hole and jumps on
One Punch Man, just jumps
right out of the hole onto one of the fighter jets, which is so incredible to me because we just talked about this. I'm reading this. I'm like, everything in this second beat of what's happening when Midoriya finally goes, I don't know, Stain and starts fighting people on his own. All these fights,
since the last time skip?
Yeah, I can't wait for all this to be animated. This is going to look beautiful at every turn.
And think about how much more we have before this. We still have the whole Meta Liberation War.
That's right. We have so much.
That in itself is just a lot, and that's going to be all of season 6.
I think they might do it season 6, season 7.
I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be 26 episodes, so you can get all that done in one season.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe you're right.
That whole arc is probably gonna be the whole next season.
We don't have to argue about this. We know that there's gonna be content to make.
Yes.
They're gonna get at least 8 or 9 seasons out of this alone.
I don't know, man. Right now, it's looking like they're this. I feel like it feels like they're starting to wrap things up.
Yeah, that's why I'm
just based on where the story is now, like it just feels like we're getting to the culmination of all things.
Maybe so. Maybe so. We'll see. I'm betting 8 seasons. Maybe it might even be 7. Who knows? We'll see. But afterwards, we realized that Shigaraki 1 jumps on one of the fighter jets.
Mm-hmm.
Star is taken by surprise. She's sat up with the decision. She can crush the jet and explode Shigaraki and actually destroy him. But she'd
be killing one of her allies at the same time. And that moment of hesitation was just enough for Shigaraki to facepalm her in the inner chapter.
In the last frame, he has his full palm on her face, jumps in the air and touches her face, which we all know how that means. If you watch,
here's the thing: he wants that quirk. He wants that quirk bad.
Oh, he can steal quirks by touching people or killing them. How does he do it?
See, I don't think we've ever gotten like a full breakdown on how All for One works, because like apparently that's the original quirk that Shigaraki has, if I remember correctly, right? And like the All for One when he was captured had just a copy of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just want to make sure I'm right there. So yeah, he can do it just by touching folks, because like he gave his little brother that quirk just by touching him, and like we've seen how it works, but we can assume as soon as he touches somebody, he can take their quirk.
We know he can give by touching, but taking too. So
I feel like that's what he did when he showed an example of it in like a flashback, where like he took the dude who had like spikes all over his body and gave it to like the guy who had gotten like jumped by quirk people. Yeah,
that's right. So if so, then that quirk is gone, and that's really sad. And then he can kill her too by making her decay. But we will see. Something might happen. You don't know.
Did it say we were on break next week? I don't remember.
I didn't remember seeing that.
Okay, we may be on break. We may not be on break. We'll find out.
We're excited for the next chapter. It was a very good chapter, a really good action-filled chapter that looked beautiful, and we really can't wait for next week. Really, that's all we ask for in manga, is for something to carry us
to keep us going until next week.
Yeah, which keeping us going until next week.
Foaming at the mouth.
What makes
more content
bring up is solo fucking leveling.
Okay, that's another one that feels like it's heading towards like final stages, because oh my man, Hunter Sung, he has gone through gauntlet after gauntlet, and he feels like he's at that pinnacle of Shadow Monarchness.
Mm-hmm. He's reaching his full potential.
Yeah, just like we're just gonna start chipping away at all the little beings that I can to make my Shadow Army gradually stronger, and just keep going at it.
Smart, because we know that for a fact that he's already said he only has about 10,000 monsters, and he's going against 10 million monsters, dragons in the next army. But as he cuts down at that army, he can rise them and then take them over to his Shadow Army, and then it's really just a balancing effect to the fact it's like it was underdog fight to an overdog fight.
Yeah, but it depends on how quickly that happens, and there's still like some moving parts going on.
That is true. That is very true. But I think that I really think that there's no way that
because the last panel of Solo Leveling was him face to face with the Dragon Monarch.
You know what? That is true. But I thought it was just like Hunter, what Jin Sung? Who? Am I saying it correctly? Mm-hmm. He was somewhere else in the world, and the Dragon Monarch was somewhere else in the world. And
it looked like they were.
It seemed like they. I don't know. I'm hoping that they're still far away, because that's a smart decision. At the end of the day, what Jin Sung said was, "I need the time. As long as I have more time, I can win." because he needs to take more of the army. And once he has more of the army, he can win. So why would he go to meet him now? Unless
he may not have had a choice.
Why?
Like, I mean, Dragon Martyr could have came to him.
That is true, but he doesn't necessarily know where he is either.
I mean, I thought he felt him killing, all of his minions or whatever.
That's true, but yeah, that is also he might have came to him, but he doesn't seem like somebody that's going to go immediately to him. He seems like I'm going to wait. He seems like someone with pride that I'm going to wait for the fight to come to me.
I don't know.
You don't know? We'll see. We'll see. But there is a moment in this chapter where he asked the transformation monarch. Do you know who we're talking about?
To do transfiguration? No, it was like the monarch of like bodily. I gotta look it up now.
Yeah, that's right. So there's another monarch that's on his side that he can control, or basically listens to what he says.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was interesting because we never, besides the other three that were the Beast Monarch and the Poison Monarch and the Ice Monarch that were together, that were arguing with you, that were trying to make a deal to take down Jin Sung. This was interesting that he had somebody on his side. I'm looking at it right now. The Monarch is Transfiguration.
Okay, that's who it was. Because there's another one of like bodily humanoids or something like that.
Yeah. He said,
Monarch of Transfiguration, and then another one, Thomas Andre. Yeah, I am the king of monstrous humanoids, the Iron Body Monarch.
That's right. So that's interesting to see what's going to happen there, because there's going to be a separate fight as well.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, next week it's going to look great, and I'm interested in seeing these fights. But finally, Black Clover.
Oh goodness, Black Clover.
You want to give us a summary?
All these manga feel like they're ending, and I'm getting a little sad.
That is true. That is very true. It sucks. It hurts.
I feel like there's like a golden age of manga there, like about to end, and I'm like, I haven't got any new ones to like get into yet.
And then we can become old people when we get in 4 years from now, which is like 40 years in real time, and we can say, "Well, you don't understand. It used to be good in my day."
Yes.
Week to week, back to back.
You know how good it was to binge read Demon Slayer? It was so good. And then having to wait
it out like every week on the day. Raw scans, full scans, motherfucker.
Fan subs.
What you know about that, child? Cheated. Viral websites. Scam black websites. White websites.
What do you know about LimeWire? What do you know about giving your computer so many viruses?
Making your own playlist. What you know about that? Supposed to give us a summary for Black Clover, big dog.
Yeah. All right. So, Black Clover. LimeWire? Yes. Hold on. Maria's calling me out. LimeWire. I mean, yeah, everybody did LimeWire back in the day. That's how I downloaded so many movies and music and viruses.
It was an incredible time that people were all able to stay on the same same page with LimeWire, because there was so much stuff on there.
It was like one of the first really big P2P like file sharing networks, like besides Napster.
Do you understand? You don't understand the hurt of downloading an album that you thought, a mixtape that just came out, and figuring out it's somebody else's random ass mixtape that they relabeled. So I thought it was a Gucci mixtape, but really it's Jonathan Wagner's mixtape from Seattle, Washington. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Gucci fell off.
Or like trying to download a movie and like for some reason it just doesn't move.
Yeah,
like that particular file just does not move, and you're like, oh well, it's been like 2 hours. I ain't gonna get it. It's not even at 1%. Just gotta give up.
To it. Yeah.
All right, but back to Black Clover, which is about to end. Let's just say the Black Bulls, they're coming for their captain. They are coming for their Capitan.
Yeah.
They are coming for Captain Yami. And they will not be stopped.
Favorite sector fighters. Taking a moment. Every fighter in the Black Bulls that Yami has recruited is so strong.
Like they were considered misfits because they weren't understood.
Very true. But he understood them.
But giving them time, preparation, to like understand their powers to a higher level.
But most importantly,
arcane mages, 0 stages. Everybody.
What they really needed was maybe I want to say inspiration. I would say Asta has been some kind of inspiration to every character of the Black Bulls.
Oh yeah, he's a motivator. He's
That's
propelling everybody else forward.
And Yami saw that potential, and he found out that all they need is some kind of inspiration to become.
It's the shonen protagonist effect, and we've seen it before.
Quick, top three fighters in the Black Bulls. Go.
Asta, Luck. I want to say tie between. Are we counting Yami?
No,
we're not counting Yami. Then I would go a tie between my man with the mirror magic. Wow, why is my phone
the glass
trying to hear me? And Charmy.
Okay.
Wow. Are you trying to downplay Charmy right now and her food magic?
She's okay. That's your choice. I'm not gonna argue that.
What's your choices then?
I only have 3. I got Asta, Asta again, and Asta 3 times. Top fighter of all. Dylon. No, okay. I got Asta.
Don't act like you didn't deserve that. Don't act like you didn't deserve it.
I didn't deserve that, but I had to give that reference hands down, no questions. All right. My favorite members are Asta, Beach. Is that how you pronounce his name? The one that controls the shadows?
Lit, yeah.
Yeah, Lit. And Magma. I love those 3.
Oh, Magna, yeah. Yeah.
Because he never gets strong. He's not necessarily technically strong, but he gets smarter. And he has a bigger obstacle than anybody else in that fight. Yes, because he doesn't get stronger like everybody else has. He doesn't progress as fast as everybody else. He just has to work with what he's got. And I was very impressed when he took down one of the Dark Triad with his own specific quirk that he practiced, studied, and created.
And like it was a specific spell that only he could use, and like took hella prep time, but he was able to pull it off.
One-on-one fight, hand-to-hand combat, and I loved it. It was a great fight. Like I really
it was very reminiscent of, I want to say, the scene in Yu Yu Hakusho. It's the Dark Tournament, first fight, Captain versus Captain, Yusuke versus Cho, the Knife Edge death match. It was very reminiscent of that.
That was a good call. Good callback. I give you on that one.
Yeah.
Right. And I enjoy that. I really enjoyed that whole moment. Really. And I think they're gonna, in the animation they might rush past it a little faster, but I would like them to drag it out. I wanted them to drag out that one-on-one hand-to-hand combat fight. No magic, just let's go at it. All brute strength. Like brute strength at the end of the day. So yeah, those are my 3 top favorites.
All right. So that's Black Clover. That was solo leveling.
You want to talk about what we're watching right now that we're in? Just one show that you're really into right now.
Dragon Quest: The Adventures of Dai.
Oh, I keep seeing that. I mean, what is
it is really good. I've talked about it a couple times. Yeah. It's kind of a remake because the original anime came out like in the early 90s. And it had a very cult following because of the Dragon Quest games, and it's very RPG like, in which it's literally just you either got magic or you got swords and strength. That's it.
What is that on Netflix?
It is on Crunchyroll and I want to say Hulu as well.
Okay.
And it is really good. Like it starts off a little slow because it has like that old school anime feel because like it has like that Akira Toriyama style artwork. Mm-hmm. So it feels like Dragon Ball. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's like it's just good old shonen goodness with an orphan boy who was raised by monsters who now becomes the hero and has to save the world from the Dark Lord and the Dark King, and like he does find his father at one point, but it becomes sad and then angry and it becomes all complicated, and it's a whole thing. There's dragons. It's so good. It's so good.
Okay. Sounds interesting.
Like if you like swords and sorcery at all, you'll enjoy it.
Oh, you know I do. Oh, baby, you know I do.
Yeah.
And I might dip into it because I was also looking for something new to watch as well.
I think you'll like it. There's like about 60 episodes out so far.
Okay. Good. That's half.
And we're just getting into like I think the second half of the show because like the intro just changed.
Yeah.
So we're into the second half of the anime, and
that's how you know you're halfway through when the intro.
Because especially on a show that doesn't go in seasons. Like this show has just been on continuously week to week.
Yeah.
Like since it came out.
Good.
All right. And yeah, there's like 60 episodes or so right now. Yeah, it starts getting real. I want to say like pretty early on too. Like there are some definite like struggle fights in the beginning, and then Dai has that quality that like anime protagonists have, where they turn enemies into friends.
Okay.
So yeah, that's always nice to see, and it's got the old school anime like kind of laughing, like, "Oops, I accidentally touched the breast. I get punched in the face." Gotcha. Ha ha ha. Yeah.
Classic thing. I really would like to see a manga where it's like they have really the girls with like huge boobs like they usually do, and then when they do the animation, they completely do a character remake, and then they just give her like a normal character body. Like I would love to see like that progression, which leads me into my suggestion for like what I've been watching lately. I've been watching something called Blue Period, and it's on.
Oh yes.
It's a manga that I had in my favorites for a while, but then I tried to read the first 2 chapters, and it was so wordy. There were so many words into it, and I'm like,
so many words.
It was like reading a novel, and I'm like, this is a lot. There's not enough happening, and it's really about a person learning to paint. He's smart, he's attractive. He's going to go to any grade school that he wants to, any college that he wants to, like engineering, mathematics, anything that'll make him money. But he decides when he gets inspired to go into painting. And you're following that journey. And they're in 5 episodes now. It's on Netflix. And I'm quite surprised on their character development. And most importantly, this is one of the biggest things that hit me is that they don't have evil. They don't have like a villain or someone.
It's just a slice of life anime.
Yeah, antagonist at all. He's really fighting his own demons, trying to become a better artist and also learn about.
You getting all meta
person, and I love it
with the growth and the self progression. Self-care. I love it.
Wait for it, baby, because they did even in episode 3. They put something that I never ever seen before. It's not a spoiler, but one of the characters you find out. You thought it was a girl the whole time was actually a man, and he's a cross-dresser. And
that's a trope in anime. That happens.
It is? Okay, I've never personally seen it. And he gets dumped by a guy because the guy thought he was a girl. And then they attack that, like, why can't I just love who I want to love? And then
wow.
Yeah, like
that's deep.
Yasuguchi says, like, well, why don't you just tell him, like, why don't you just, you should just love whoever you want, like, you should just love, like, be with women. It's a lot easier. And she says, if I had to be with, or he says, if I had to be with a woman, it would crush me. And like, it was that conversation. It's like,
wow.
Well, then yeah. And then he said, well, then only do what makes you happy. And then the other guy says, if I'm so happy doing what I want to, like being who I want to be, but everybody else wants me to be something else. And it's really like there's chains on all of my limbs. And I'm like, oh, it was just a very beautiful way to put it. Mm-hmm. And it looks beautiful. Keep in mind, it's a regular anime. But when they show the art pieces, it's it's gorgeous, and
Wow,
it
that sounds
inspired
a
me to
lot
draw.
deeper than Orange High School Host Club, which is what I was referencing.
Yeah, it's quite different. But I think a good anime inspires you to do something, and it also inspired me to start drawing again. So I'm back into it, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm drawing. I'm taking film photos that I see on Instagram, and my photos that I've taken personally with my camera, and I'm drawing them. So it's just really fun to get into, and it's a feel good show. And I advise
big wholesome energy out here. I love it.
Yeah, I advise you to watch. I advise everybody to sit there and watch it, and I teared up on one of the episodes, and I think everybody else will too. So check it out. It's Blue Periods on Netflix. 5 episodes out.
Okay. So yeah, those are our recommendations for the week, and I think we've been going for about 40 minutes. I think it's time to get out of here.
Well, I got one more thing to say.
One more thing. I'm
gonna run through them really quick. 3 new animes that I saw that look really good. Somebody the studio who did One Punch Man season 1.
Okay.
It's called Tact OP Destiny. It's about monsters who are attracted to music that's being played, and these super attack music carts. People are fighting monsters based off of music, and it's interesting. It's very fun. There's another one that I saw that was recommended. It's called Platinum End, about the people who made.
I've seen. That's been Crunchyroll's been trying to get me to watch that past.
Yeah. A guy is about to commit suicide and gets saved by an angel, and it's like 8 other people, and they're trying to figure out who's going to become the next god. So,
it's one of those. Okay.
Yeah. So seems interesting. So those are on my radar. Haven't got to them, but yeah, they're on my radar.
For anyone that's ever been interested in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure,
oh yeah, that's right.
All of the first 5 arcs are on Netflix, dubbed for your pleasure.
Keep in mind,
subbed.
The latest season that's out is going to make me get back into watching it because it's a woman.
Yeah, it's Jotaro's granddaughter.
Yeah, which I'm thinking so did they have only boys for all this time? But it's possible because
no, I feel like because sometimes they skip generations. Like it was a girl that was born, but like now it's Jolene.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I want to watch this so bad.
Jolene, but we call her JoJo because
it's a woman. I want to see how they write her.
They're going to be in a women's prison. You realize how ridiculous it's going to be? It's like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure set in a women's prison with stands. It's
really fun. I'm going to start watching it very soon.
But I'm still on Golden Wind. I'm on the second half of Golden Wind right now.
I'm gonna skip it. I'm just going straight to the new one because this is all I really want to see.
No, you got to know the history so you can get all the references.
Do I? Because they just pick a new. Oh my god!
No, they literally build on each other.
All right, I guess.
And here's the thing: the first two arcs are broken up into 2 movies. If you want.
All right, we'll see if Flavio will sit through them. We'll do it.
I mean, and if you want to get real, real with it, you'll watch the first 2 in English, the third and 4th in Japanese, and the 5th in Italian.
No,
the 5th is set in Italy.
Okay, maybe. I do enjoy watching things that are in the language in which they are in, which reminds me that there's one more show called Link Click. Have you heard of this? It's a Chinese anime, and they said that it might be the one that's the best one of the year, which I doubt that after Jujutsu Kaisen. But it's about these 2 guys, 2 brothers or whatever, and whatever picture they see, they can go into that time and read, and like how in Tokyo Revengers when he shakes hands with her brother, they go back 12 years or whatever.
Yeah, now they can go into like any picture.
With this one, it's 2 brothers, and they find out that they have a power where if anybody takes a picture, they can go back to that moment and alter that moment and come back. And if they alter it too much, like people, it'll just be very bad for their future.
Okay, butterfly effect. Got it.
Yes, but they can go through pictures, which seems pretty interesting, and it's drawn pretty nicely. I like the art style.
Okay.
And it's in Chinese, so I love to get involved with that.
Diversify your manga.
Diversifies your bonds, nigga.
And with that, we've been the Melanated Anime Club. Have a wonderful week. Watch some anime. Do something for yourself. Take some self-care. Go outside before it gets way too cold.
Yeah.
Before that seasonal depression hits you. Get some vitamin D. I'm trying to do my best Derek outro, but here it is. Go and have fun. Live your life as best you can and live your truth. Those are the words I'll leave you with. Peace. There it is.
バカみたい子供なのね夢を追って傷ついて嘘が下手なくせに笑えない笑顔見せた I love you もろくに言わない口下手でほんまに不器用なのにどうしてさよならは